Hi everyone, this is Jenny again. Thank you for watching Things I Wish I Knew. Today's content is about my poor money habits in college. And so I'm airing all my dirty laundry from what I used to do in college in order for you guys to not do the same thing and save your money. So while I was in college, because I was in a quarter system, there was different times for school. So some days I would go to a class for an hour 10, and some days it would be like an hour 45 and an hour 50. So with my poor attention span, I would get bored in like the classes that were an hour 45 or an hour 50. And so then I would browse the web. But me browsing the web wasn't like looking at my friend's Facebook or Instagram. It wasn't anything like that. Me browsing the web was going online shopping websites. At that time, there wasn't any Shein or Pretty Little Things or anything like that. But at that time, there was like Forever 21, Wet Seal, all these other stores. And then so what I would do was I would go to the stores and just take a cruise, look through everything. And I like would put it in my shopping cart, and I would just, it was very impulsive, and I would just buy while I was there. And so I ended up getting a lot of fast fashion things that only lasted me a very short while. Not saying that Forever 21 has the worst quality, but a lot of the stuff I would wear at once and it either shrank, had a hole, or faded. And so most of the time I only wear it once. Second thing is sometimes because I did a lot of online shopping with clothes, sometimes they wouldn't fit me the right way, just not the right length. I just didn't like how it would fit. And I was supposed to return them, but I always would forget. So I ended up wasting a lot of money. A lot of things that I used to have had tags on it, and I had to just donate them all once I graduated college because it was just so much crap that I used to have. A lot of clothes, a lot of shoes with tags on them. And even though they're considerably fast fashion, a little bit cheaper, overall it ends up adding up. Another thing with the fashion and the buying stuff online, I used to do a lot of eBay buying. So it was like a casino thing where I would bid on something on eBay and I'm like, oh my God, I can get it for a penny. It was dirt cheap, and I just would not, I would just keep going. Like somebody would counteract that one. I would keep going until I would buy things for $5 where it was like probably worth like $2 or $3. It was stupid, but I would buy it. So it was a lot of waste of money. Like it was fake jewelry that I would buy. So don't do any of this. I would not recommend it. A thing that it took me a while to get out of my head was the thought of getting a good deal because I was buying on sale. So I would go to the mall like on the weekends and just go to the stores, and there was always a deal, and I'm like, well, it's like 5 panties for $25. That's such a deal. And so I would buy it all the time. I didn't need any of this stuff. Or go to the sales rack at like Nordstrom, or go to the sales racks at Macy's and just look through the stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is $20. It's on sale. It used to be $50. Like, I need to get it. It's so inexpensive. And so I ended up going on these shopping sprees when I didn't really need anything. And I don't even know why I was going to the malls, because maybe just was bored, but I would go to the malls when I was bored and just walk around. And that's an issue because I had nothing to do at the mall. I would just go shopping, and it's not good. And even though I did buy things on sale and some of them were really good, I would say majority of my shopping extravaganza was not. And again, same with my online shopping issue. A lot of them had tags. I didn't wear them. So I would not recommend you do that while you're in college. One thing I didn't realize while I was doing, and I just realized how much money I was spending, was eating out at restaurants frequently. So I would go to school and I would stay in school the whole time. So then I wouldn't pack a lunch or wouldn't pack a dinner, whatever it was. And then I would stay at the library and study, and I was hungry. So I would have to buy on campus. I'd buy a sandwich for like $9 on campus, or a burrito for $10 on campus. So every money I was spending say I had lunch and dinner on campus, I was spending at least $20 every day on food. And that adds up. If I do $20 for 5 days, that's $100. And that does not include my groceries at home, because I would still buy groceries and have food at home. And so I would recommend I'm not saying don't eat out ever. I'm just saying just selective so you end up saving money. Because the other times I'd go on weekends, like even though I had food at home, on weekends I would go to a nice restaurant, I'd go to sushi, and I don't know about you, but I don't get full on one roll of sushi. So I would be spending $25 for dinner, $35. Sometimes if I had a drink when I was 21, I would spend $40 on a meal where I had food at home. And sometimes because I was eating out so much, my food at home would expire and I'd have to throw it away. And so it was just really wasting money. So one thing I could recommend is really budget and try to figure out, like, I can eat one day out of the week out and then everything else I'll eat at home. Kind of make it, don't splurge on the food. Make it a treat to go out to a restaurant with your friends and go out and eat. Don't make it a daily thing. Along with that, I used to do this all the time, and it was a lot of money because I would buy iced coffees or iced chais from the coffee stands near school or cafes around school or wherever I wanted to study. And I would buy maybe like 2 or 3. And you know, when there's specialties like iced coffee latte or vanilla latte, anything like that, they always end up being $5 or $6. So I'd spend like $15 every day on coffee, which is crazy because I could have bought a big batch of coffee beans for like even for Starbucks, $13-14, and that could have lasted me a week and a half. And so spending $15 a day on coffee was ridiculous. And now that I think about it, I'm like, man, why did I do that? That was a lot of money that I spent on stuff that I could have done at home. So same thing, try to save your money that way. Now that when I was in residency, I would make it more of a treat myself. Like if I do all this studying, I'm just going to treat myself to an iced coffee. So I would treat myself once a week to a frappuccino or something like that. So first off, I'm drinking less sugar by doing it once a week than every single day. And second off, I'd be saving so much money. I don't know if you guys know what FOMO is. I'm sure you guys know it's fear of missing out. And when I was in college, I had that a lot. So when friends would invite me to go places, I never said no. And I kind of wish I did now that I think about it, because a lot of these events, whether it was a festival, movies, anything, I didn't really care to go to, but I was going because all my friends were going and it was going to be an experience. I wasn't going to do it again. And so I would do all these activities and events for the experience, but not really because I wanted to go there. So I remember one time there was a festival and it was outside of where we lived, so we'd have to drive there, stay the night there, and food. It ended up being a very expensive weekend because the festival not only was I think it was $300 or $400, but we had to drive there. I had to pitch money for the gas, and then I had to obviously pay for the hotel, my hotel. It ended up being a really expensive weekend, and so I wish I was more selective in the things that I decided I wanted to do with my friends. Things that I really enjoyed. And I wish I did more fun outdoorsy things too, which I did. I did do the outdoorsy things, but I wish I did more of it because I lived on a campus that was all outdoorsy, hikes, walks, all this stuff, beach. There was so much to do that was outdoorsy and for free, but I decided not to a lot of the times. And so I wish I remembered or I knew the value of saying no to things I didn't really care for. I would go to the movies sometimes and I didn't really care for the movie, but just because my friends were inviting me, they really wanted to go. I was like, okay, let's go to the movies. But spending $20 to go to the movie where I didn't really need to because I didn't really care for the movie. And all of this has to deal with me not having a concept about budgeting. So the most important thing when you go to college, and I swear this is something that they should have taught us, either our parents should have taught us or our school should have taught us, instead of teaching all these, no, I'm not saying they shouldn't have taught us history. I'm saying they should have added to our courses. They should have taught us about resumes and job interviews. They should have taught us all of this in college, just how to be adults, basically. And one of the things they should have taught us in high school was budgeting. What does it mean to budget? And so when I went to college, I didn't have a concept of what budgeting was. I had all this money, like my school was paid for everything, and then I would have this extra money. And I'm like, oh, cool, that's a lot of money. And like, okay, well, I'll pay my bills with it. Cool. And then what else did I do? I'm like, oh, this is free money. Like I could just spend it on whatever I want. And so I used to just spend the money instead of thinking of like saving it, using it for other things. And that's what I'm saying. When you go to college, you should learn about budgeting before you get there. So then you're not like, oh crap, I have so much money. What do I spend it on? Or I have so little money because I spend it on something else that I shouldn't have spent it on. I know a lot of people, when they have so much money, they end up going, I didn't do it, but other people could do it. Buying like designer luxury bags. You know, that's cool. Once in a while, that's fine. But if that money was supposed to be allocated for something more crucial, like say your food, your bills, whatever it is, you shouldn't have spent it on that. And that's when I started learning in college how to budget, because I was having issues with like where my money was going. And sometimes I'm like, wait, I had so much money and I don't have anything. I'm like, where did it go? And so that's what you should learn. If anything from this video you should learn how to budget. Along with budgeting, if you do have that extra money, I would recommend savings or investments. And I'm not the perfect person to talk about it because I'm still pretty new and early to it, but I would always recommend speaking to people that do know about these types of finances. So savings, putting in your savings or investing. You could actually have a savings account in like an online savings account like Ally or Marcus by Goldman Sachs. And the percentage on their APYs are so much higher than what you would get like a big bank like Wells Fargo or Bank of America. So something to think about there. Investing in like Roth IRA or any other things such as investments, stocks and stuff like that. It's a good way to start early. So there's accruement. It accrues over time. So that's it, guys. That's my poor money habits in college. I hope this video teaches you not to do those things and not to go impulsive buying, not to waste your money on things you shouldn't be wasting it on. And so you can get a better financial future if you're able to know where your money should be going, how to invest your money, how to save your money, and not spend it in the wrong places. So thanks for listening. If you have any comments, any questions, please put it down below. Thank you, and please subscribe, like, and comment. Okay, bye.